Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1:02 p.m. We're coming out of recess for our morning session to hear a single land use item today. There were two other items initially published, or actually one published that will be renoticed, and then we have a consideration of some changes to our zoning and subdivision regulations that will be continued when we get to that item, I believe till February. So the one item we're hearing today is the Big Iron Ranches rezone. It's a rezone 19-002. Is the staff ready? And we're good over here. So Amanda would like to call the roll, I see.
Commissioner Richardson?
Here.
Commissioner Pettit? Commissioner Thayer?
Here. Alrighty, and Commissioner Pettit's not able to join us today. Just for the applicant, as we move in, I just wanted to note that a tie vote is a no vote, and we'll certainly hear everything. And just so you know, at the end, it needs to be a majority vote. So with only two of us, that's a possibility. But with that, I would turn it over to staff in a moment, but first we have to open the hearing. So I'd accept a motion to open public hearing for the consideration of the Big Iron Ranches rezone.
So moved.
Second, we have a motion and a second to open public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Jen.
Thanks very much, Commissioners. We are joined here by Rob Gonzalez, who is the applicant for Irondale, aka Big Iron Ranches. Case number RZ19-0002. You do need like I just used my mic to the PC.
Sorry about that. This is Jen with CDS. We're joined by Rob Gonzalez, who is the applicant for Irondale, aka Big Iron Ranches. Case number RZ-19-0002. The application is for a rezone of approximately 64.4 acres from agriculture to agriculture residential. The landowner is Maria De Leon and Jose Vasquez. Applicant again is Rob Gonzalez. Size of the acreage, 64.4 acres, located on the northeast corner of the intersection of County Road 53 and County Road 178. Their pre-application meeting was held on January 31st of 2019. The formal application submittal was on August 27th of 2019. Referral process, excuse me, first referral happened from September 4th to the 25th of 2019, and the second referral was from July 29th to August 12th of 2020. Planning Commission public hearing was held on November 17th of 2020. Again, it's a 64.4 acre property located in the northeast corner of County Road 53 and County Road 178. It's generally a flat piece of property with mild rolling hills and an overall grade change of approximately 25 feet from north to south. There are no mapped floodplains or wetlands in the project area, and there are currently no trees on site. The native grasses, typical of the high prairie, cover the majority of the site. Notice of public hearing were by mailing to property owners within 1,320 feet of the property boundaries on October 21st, 2020. The sign was posted on property along County Road 53 or Kiowa Bennett Road on November 3rd, 2020. And newspaper notification was published in the Elbert County News on October 29th, 2020. Affidavits of public notice for the project folder. And this is our location. We're just south of the County Line Road, located immediately on Kiowa Bennett or County Road 53. and the surrounding properties are primarily agricultural. You'll see on the map that there are a couple of subdivisions. Wolf Creek Ranches is also agricultural, and then Sun Country Meadows to the west is a PUD. The applicant is requesting a rezone of 64.4 acres from agriculture to agriculture residential, to which referral agencies replied during the referral process. Elbert County agencies were the Building Department, Health and Human Services, Public Works, the Assessor, Clerk and County Recorder, Elbert County Manager, Elbert County Engineer, Elbert County Emergency Service or Emergency Manager, Treasurer, and Sheriff. Other agencies in the referral process were Kiowa Fire, Colorado Division of Water Resources, Kiowa School District, Kiowa Conservation District, USDA, IREA, Colorado Interstate Gas, and Colorado Geological Survey. I'd like to take a second. We had to explain the water and groundwater commission activity that happened during downtime in the application process. The result was a determination number 3952-BD, which says, in accordance with section 37-90-1077 and the designated basin rules, the commission determined a right to an allocation of groundwater in the Arapahoe aquifer underlying the 64.4 acres of land. Determination number 3953-BD says, pursuant to section 37-90-1077, in accordance with the designated basin rules, the commission shall allocate the groundwater in the Denver aquifer underlying the overlying land on the basis of the ownership of the overlying land. The existing well permit number 310633 will be canceled and re-permitted to operate pursuant to this determination, with the new permit being number 84422-F. That well has already been applied for and granted and is included in the packet. In accordance with section 37-90-107.5 and the designated basin rules, for the Groundwater Commission approves a replacement plan for determination number 3953-BD, subject to conditions. So all of that has been applied for and approved by the Groundwater Commission. The remainder of the referral process resulted in little objection or comment. Health and Human Services, Kiowa Conservation had no objections. IREA required that utility easements for overhead lines be notated in the exhibit. Colorado Division of Water, we just mentioned water arbitration. The Elbert County Assessor had no additional access being granted on Kiowa Bennett, which led us to creating a private road off that. Said that they needed an apron if there were any additional accesses onto Kiowa Bennett. That is null based on the addition of a private road. And Kiowa Fire had no objections, but with conditions. The access roads to be the county standards, fire flow, which they will pursue cash in lieu for, and impact fees. Rezone criteria per Article 3C4 of the Elbert County zoning regulations lists review criteria A through F for all rezone requests. The 6 criteria are as follows. A, whether the proposed rezoning conforms to and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of the Elbert County Act, the provision of public. Whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion. Whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden the existing road system without improvements. And F, whether the proposed rezoning will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, and welfare of the present or future inhabitants of Elbert County. Staff evaluation has found The Elbert County Comprehensive Plan, useful in the evaluation of the project. Land use goals for residential development outlined on page 55 states the following. Elbert County supports residential development by encouraging a range of lot sizes and residential densities associated with available roads and infrastructure, and by encouraging the designation of open space and the preservation of areas of visual, historic, and natural consequence. Residential policy RD1 states, new residential development should cover all costs of on and off-site roads and utilities required to meet the associated demands of that development. Transportation policy TR1 states, new development is encouraged to locate proximate to improved arterial roads, or such roads should be provided by the developer. And residential policy RD2 states, to preserve open space and preserve the rural character of Elbert County, clustered residential development patterns are encouraged on lands within 1 mile of paved roads and existing utility corridors where they exist, and within the 3-mile service and or influence areas of county towns. Staff evaluation is that the site is located on the existing major north-south thoroughfare of Kiowa Bennett Road, thus fulfilling the goal of policy TR1. The new private road to be constructed off County Road 178 will provide access to lots 2 through 4 and complies with policy RD1. Approval of this rezone to agricultural residential will allow the landowner to subdivide this property into a total of 4 lots per the Elbert County residential development goals. Our findings are based on Article 3C4 of the Elbert County zoning regulations, and staff finds the following. A, the proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. B, the proposal meets the criteria for approval in the Elbert County zoning regulations. C, the Elbert County subdivision regulations are not applicable to the rezoning application. D, the proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. And F, this proposal will not result in significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and landowners of the surrounding area. Therefore, Community and Development Services and the Elbert Planning Commission recommend that the Board of County Commissioners approve Irondale, aka Big Iron Ranches, RZ-19-0002, subject to the following conditions. 1, the applicant will be required to remove the public hearing sign within 7 days of approval by the Board of County Commissioners. 2, the rezone shall not become effective until all fees are paid, conditions of referral agency approvals are met, and the rezone exhibit is recorded. 3, recordation of all appropriate documentation to occur within 180 days of Board of County Commissioners approval. And 4, a notice to be added to the minor plat exhibit stating payment of cash in lieu open space fees were paid at the time of development. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Jen. Grant, do you have any questions for Jen at this time?
Yeah, just the wording on the last edition of approval. Now, does that mean that is that will be paid at the time of development rather than when?
Correct.
Yeah, we need to fix that wording because that sounds like, I'm not sure what it sounds like. Because, but anyway, the whole point is that it'll be paid not up front, but when the...
No, at the time of development. So
when is that?
They will be paying now instead of deferring the payment to the time of sale.
So that basically means when you file the plat.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, and in an effort for CDS to track cash in lieu open space fees, we are now adding those notes to the exhibits themselves.
No, that makes sense because
Yeah.
the developer does have an option to
Correct.
pay it at the time the lots are sold or up front.
Right.
So then just be prior to signature that
Correct.
payment will be in hand.
Yep.
On the plan.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, ask the applicant if
So
they,
just so that I'm clear, because I was a Ron Gonzalez, I'm
Yeah.
authorized representative for Maria Dillon and Jose Vasquez. So just to be clear, the cash in lieu option is to be paid up front versus when the lot is sold?
You have an option. The way it works is that you pay it based on the appraised values up front. so you know what your money is, or you can pay it at the time the lot is sold, and it'll be 10% of the gross payment.
So for example, the cash in lieu amount is $1,040 per lot.
If you pay it up front, yes.
If we pay it up front.
Yes.
And if I pay it at the time of sale, it's 10% of the sale?
Sale price, yes. And that's before the sale expenses, that's the sale price.
I believe that 1,040 you just said is the fire department's cash in lieu.
Yes.
Not the county's cash in lieu.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so that's my impact, the impact fee for the county, I still don't know.
Until you have an appraised,
Correct.
or,
Correct. So
and
once-
that's open space cash in lieu. To be differentiated from impact fees.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear on all of these.
Correct.
Okay, so I think, so that would be paid either upfront or at the time of sale of lot. The appraised, whatever the appraised value comes back on the lots.
If you do appraise, then you're going to pay that immediately before recordation. If you do sale value and defer that payment, it will be notated on the exhibit, and it will be 10% of the sale price.
And the appraised would be what percentage?
Also 10%,
Also.
but you run the risk.
Okay.
If you sell high, which is great. Right.
Okay, I think I'm clear with that. Does Commissioner Chavez?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you could, just state your name for
Yeah, so.
the record, and then if you have anything else you'd like to add to the presentation of the application.
My name is Rob Gonzalez. I'm the authorized representative for Maria De Leon and Jose Vasquez, the property owners. We've been working on this for about a year now. I had some issues with the water, but we got that all sorted out.
While as you're talking about the water, I got the impression, if I read it correctly, that the existing house will continue to use the Denver water.
That is
And then the
correct.
3 additional lots will be required to drill down to the Arapaho.
That is correct.
Okay.
We got that all sorted out, and I just handed, Jennifer and Christina, what will include with the sale of these lots will be a road maintenance agreement, so that the lot owners will be responsible for maintaining that private access road. And there are already plans to put trees along the road and beautify it, should be very nice.
So the, folks you're representing, do they live in the existing home, or are they?
They are about to sell that home, they built it, it's a very nice house, and they're about to sell it as soon as this subdivision goes.
Okay, yeah, been by it a few times. Yeah, I mean, generally what we're looking at is always gonna be water, roads, general impact on the surroundings, and I saw the referral comments come back, I think moving the access to the 3 additional lots directly off of Kiowa Bennett, and taking them off of 178, is a much safer solution. Certainly, I know you went through the state for quite a bit on water. It's, you know, we're really looking at 3 incremental lots, well over 10 acres. The use for AR is slightly more restrictive than that of strict agricultural, so I don't see a lot of different uses popping up, and that'd be different if we were looking at a wholesale change to a commercial or retail type thing.
We were thinking about the corner lot, the bottom lot number 4, possibly as a commercial lot, because that's where the Kiowa Bennett Road has a curve on it. That would be an ideal location for commercial, but they didn't want to take that on at this time.
Yeah, and I agree. I think just in the discussion of whether this is appropriate rezoning, I mean, it's really not other than size of property, the uses are not changing dramatically from what's already available. So, So I know there was a brief back and forth discussion that may not have been captured by the mic on cash in lieu and impact fees. So I think that was I think understood that if the cash in lieu is paid now, it's based on the now current value at sale versus if you do it lot by lot over time, the potential of that fee going up
Yeah.
with lot prices going up is there. So it's and then as homes are built, there'll be specific impact fees associated with homes, but that's I think that's kind of where that discussion was left. So if the conditions that were up there initially, are you comfortable with those?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I've already gotten a sign off from fire. There's a release of deed issue that I have to work out with title, but other than that,
Okay. Yeah, I think as I went through the packet, I didn't note any letters of support or objection. So at this point, since we're in public hearing, I would ask, we do have one person, if there's any desire to make public comment on this item. Okay. If not, then I would, I guess, close public comment at this point. But do you have any other questions or comments?
No, I agree with what your outline there is that this is a very common thing today for agricultural lots to be divided into 10+ acre situations, and water is always the wild point because and that was the reason why I asked you the question about the Denver because the Denver for these 3 lots exists there, but if I read your application right, those next 3 wells have to be drilled down to the Arapahoe.
that is correct, sir. And the replacement plan for the Denver aquifer requires that after 100 years, that well be capped, and it also goes to.
Yeah, and then there was some other language in there after 54 or 64 years, you had to come up with some magical plan.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll still be around.
Yeah. To me, this is so common and complete that, with your permission, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I move that we approve the Irondale, aka Big Iron Ranches, RZ-19-0002, a rezone of 64.42 acres from agriculture to agricultural residential. You have to stipulate that you accept the conditions of approval.
We do accept the conditions of approval.
Okay.
I will second that motion. All in favor of approving rezone 19-002 with conditions as indicated, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And again, sir, I do appreciate, I know this, working with the state through water is always a lengthy process, but
Water is becoming more and more.
in the long run, that's one critical resource we just can't get back. So, and again, the construction of a private road to county standards, I know is done at great expense. So, but providing that infrastructure to support those new homes without being on the general taxpayer's dime is a good thing. So, thank you.
So, thank you, John. Just one final question.
Yes.
As far as my next steps, so it's approved. Do I need to get Mylar to you now? Or what happens next?
We'll talk about next steps. You're
Yeah, I
always
think
ahead of the game, Rob.
yeah, from what I gather, the subdivision is an administrative process you'll be going through briefly, or working through. So they'll guide you through the rest of this. Thanks. Alrighty, the next item that was listed and is indicated on the agenda initially was notice the Spring Valley Development Guide Amendment number 3, DGA 20-0073. That was not heard by the planning commission previously, it will be renoticed and rescheduled in the new year. The final item we have is consideration of reopening Amendment 5 to the Elbert County Zoning and Subdivision language regulations. This was continued from a previous meeting, and the recommendation from staff is to continue again to a date certain of February 24th, 2021. I'd accept a motion to continue this item to that date.
So moved.
Okay, I'll second. We have a motion and a second to continue Amendment 5 to Elbert County Zoning and Subdivision Regulations to February 24th, 2021, and that will be at 1 p.m. And likely at this location. So with that, I'd accept the motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Whoa, wait, what about comments, your comment section? First, can we close the public hearing?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Amanda. Sorry, I missed that. We'll close public hearing on Big Iron Ranches. Accept the motion.
Well, citizen comments, we don't get to have that.
Ma'am? Ma'am, we ask for comments on the items before us.
I thought that was on the Irondale, I'm sorry, that was
Okay.
a mistake on my part.
All right, ma'am. Excuse me. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing on Big Iron Ranches.
So moved.
Okay, second. We have a motion and a second to close public hearing on Big Iron Ranches. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, there is no other business before us today. With that, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
You don't have discussion items?
No, we have those in our morning session, ma'am. We have open public comment in our morning session. Land use hearings are for land use hearings.
Okay, so when it,
I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.